Hello, this is Rico Cavilla. I want to welcome you to this episode of the Fearless Aging Podcast, where in every episode, my co-host John and all of our guests, we're here to inspire you and empower you to become your best self. And I got that messed up. We're here to inspire you. We're here to offer you proven tips and strategies that you can implement immediately so you can that'll help you to greatly improve your overall health and well-being. So we're here to inspire you and empower you to become your best self so you can live a much healthier long life and so you can go out and make a bigger positive difference in the world. Now before we get started with this episode, I want to let you know if you've been wondering about how well you are aging, well, we have a solution for you. Go to our main website, agelessliving.lifestyle.com, and take our aging assessment. And if you don't like the results, you can book a free call with me, and we'll have just a friendly discussion of what's going on with you and what challenges you're having. And I'll give you some quick and easy tips that'll get you going on the right track. And also, we have a sponsor for our show now. It's called Beer Cafe. It's healthy coffee. It's coffee that it doesn't have any acid in it, and it has mushroom powder, which greatly improves your immune system. Has also many health benefits, and it tastes really well. So at the end of the show, we'll let you know more about that, how you can try out this healthy coffee. I think you're really going to like it. All right. So, John, say hello.
Yes. Hey, Rico. Hey, everybody. Looking forward to another happy episode here of how we can just really lead happier, better lives. So, very excited as usual.
All right. Well, John, how about you tell our audience what our mission statement is so they know exactly what we're all about here?
Sure. Our mission is to empower elders 60 and over to achieve optimal mental, physical, and financial health, enabling them to live longer, healthier lives while sharing their wisdom to mentor younger generations and help solve today's global challenges.
Yeah, well said. That's exactly what we're here about. And uh, if you check out our very, this is our fourth one that we started this. If you go, you can check out our all of them either on our YouTube channel or you can check them out on all the major podcast platforms, and we'll put that information in the chat. But you really do want to check out the first one. That's where we really talk about all of the different uh, statistics of why of how not so well we're doing as far as aging for elders, and there's lots of good information there. So you'll see what the problem is, but you'll also see that we've got some solutions for you. So that's why we're really excited about offering some really good solutions for you. So, John, today we've been going through some of the basic principles of what I like to call the our top anti-growing old strategies. And so we're kind of going through each one of those, kind of setting the foundation for people uh, so they understand what's really it takes in order to develop a really solid wellness program that will keep you from growing old and sick and dying way too young. So we're kind of going this on that every day, every episode. So for today's, it's about being powerful and being responsible. So before I start off on that, how about you just give a little some ideas on why that's so important to be responsible.
Yes, absolutely. To take 100% responsibility for your own being, for your own health, and for your health journey, I think is extremely important. Who knows your body better? Who spends more time with your body
Yeah.
than yourself? And when you go to, for instance, you go to the doctor or you go to a nursing facility, or you go somewhere who somebody is supposed to be, you know, knowing more than you do about who you are as far as your health goes, that is something that you need to take a look at because you are the one. When you take 100% responsibility And you can use your loved ones or your family members to help you out here to do that, but you have to take control of your own health. And we can give you some examples of that and how that works and what is happening today in today's society where so many of us rely on our traditional sick care model of going to the doctor and listening to the voice of authority. And he thinks or she thinks that they can give you advice that they know more than you do about your particular situation. When you can take the stance that you know more about your body and what's good for you, and you can get right down to the deepest self of who you are, is to know yourself and to know what works for you. So it's really simple. If you can take 100% responsibility, and we'll show you some ways how we can do that and get there. Very simple, easy ways to do it. That's our message for today, is really to take responsibility for your own health.
Yeah, no question about it. And John, you have a great testimony. You just got back from work from helping out your brother. So tell us that story about your brother, about how you guys really realized that you needed to take responsibility for his
Yeah,
health.
quite a story. And it's all about taking responsibility for your own health. And that's what my brother did. And with my help, with my guidance. So what happened was he spent about 2.5 weeks in a Bangkok hospital in the ICU. He was a lifetime smoker. He had a lot of habits that weren't in his best interest, and they all caught up to him. He was found to be rushed to the hospital. His daughter was in the ambulance. She called me up. Here, I live in Sacramento. She said, "My dad is barely breathing. He's on his way to the hospital. We're on the way to the hospital." And she was in a panic. She didn't know what to do. They admitted him to the hospital. He spent 2.5 weeks in the hospital, probably about, I think it was about 14 days in the ICU, 10 days on a ventilator. And on that ventilator, he actually lost control of his whereabouts, where he was. He told me later on that he said 3 days, he absolutely lost 3 days of his life, not knowing where he was. He was in a coma for those 3 days. And I think he was ready to transition, but somebody else, a higher power than him, said, "It's not time yet, Brother Jerry. It's not time yet." So what happened was he ended up getting out of that situation, and he was getting better. He got a little bit better. No food, no nutrition, no food, no water for, it was at least 10 days that he was deprived of any nutrition. And so they moved him to another room, and they finally said, "Okay, you're getting better, but to help you get better, we need to operate." I think, he had a very swollen, bloated stomach, and his swollen, bloated stomach was such that they said, "There's got to be a blockage here, or, maybe close to a blockage." And they said, "We're going to need to operate. We're going to need to resection your lower intestine. And by resectioning your lower intestine, we're going to clear that up, and you can start, having regular bowel movements again, and you can start feeling better." My brother said, "I spend one more day in this hospital," because they wanted to keep him for another 5 or 6 days after the surgery. He says, "I'm dead. I am a goner. I will not do that." And the doctors said, "Yes, you will, because your life's at stake here." They gave him a kind of a scare tactic. They said, "If you don't, you're going to throw an aneurysm. You're going to have, this could result in cancer." They even mentioned the word cancer. And the whole staff and even my brother's wife said, "Get the operation, stay for another 5 days." My brother said, "No." I supported him because I know my brother, and I know what can happen when you have another surgery. And if your mental capacity says, "I'm going to die," then, that's your intention, not a good thing. So he took 100% responsibility to take control of the situation, said, "I am out of here." And I was the only one who could support him, because nobody else, they got very angry with him that he couldn't stay another 5 or 6 days in the hospital with this surgery. The bill was already over $150,000 in this private hospital in Bangkok. My brother cannot afford that. And he just, that wasn't the issue. It was just being in the hospital for another 5 days. Make a long story short, we took him home. We applied some of our methods of lifestyle medicine, and that is a diet exercise, lowering his stress level, lots of stress in the hospital for where he was, getting the proper sleep, and no more risky substances, medications. The bag of food that he was taking, I wouldn't call it food. It was tubular feeding, tube feeding. It was this white chalky substance. That's all he had for his whole stay in the hospital. It was just he was just wearing down to nothing. And so what we did was we replenished all of those. We even got, every day was one little step further. And when I left a few days ago, I'm just back now from my Bangkok trip. He was walking, he was talking, he was happy. He had changed some significant moves in his lifestyle, and he happy to report he is a new man.
Wow, that's such a good story. That's such a great story. That really illustrates that what we're talking about here. But I do want to clarify, we're not saying that you shouldn't go see your doctor or that sometimes medical care can't be beneficial for you. Our mainstream medical system is really good for diagnosis. They have all the modern scientific equipment and tests, and they can diagnose you. The problem is quite often their treatments are not only mostly ineffective, but they can be downright dangerous. All the side effects from their drugs and surgeries and radiation and all the things that they want to do for you, and sometimes those things are what you need, or that is an alternative sometimes. But really, the body can only the body can actually heal itself. And the way the body heals itself is when you help it get back into balance and give it, as John was mentioning, get it the right food, the right amount of sleep, the exercise, the mindset, all these things. Then the body can get back into balance and the body can heal itself. So just wanted to clarify that.
And that's a really good point, Rico, is that when we take a look at what we need for our own selves and taking responsibility for that, is if you know within your heart and whatever is happening to you, is that you take responsibility. In this case, let's take a responsibility for treating the root cause of whatever ails you and not the symptom. And if you can know that in your mind, that by treating the root cause, that's where you're going to be, moving forward with whatever you have. And if it's treating the symptom, that means you're going to have whatever the root cause caused that disease or chronic ailment or whatever that is not going to be cured in such a way unless you do other things besides just treating the symptom. So to know that in your mind and taking responsibility for that theory, that concept of treating the root cause to get well is probably, in your best interest.
Yeah, that's well said, John. Yeah, and that always reminds me of the saying, don't focus on the problem, focus on the solution, and there's always solution. There's always solutions for it. So everybody wants to be powerful, right? Everybody want to be a powerful person. Well, guess what? It's real easy to be powerful. Just be responsible. If you're responsible for everything in your life, that makes you a powerful person, because then that means you're in control. You have the power within you to create whatever you want in your life. But if you're not responsible for everything, that means you're giving up your power to outside external things or other people, and then you're not powerful because you give up your power to somebody else or to some outside entity. So if you want to be powerful, just be responsible. And I think don't you agree, John? I mean, everybody knows that if no matter what you want to be successful at, you better take responsibility for making it happen. No one else is going to do it for you. If you want to be successful in any aspect of your life, you got to step up and be responsible for it. And when you do that, things just open up, and things just come to you of what you need to do, and that makes you feel so much more powerful. And
Yes,
so,
that is spot on, Rico. And I'd like to interject right now what that really means as far as our health and our healthcare system. The way it's working right now is when you go in and see you have a problem, and you go in and what they will do is they'll say, what are your parents? What happened to them? What are your what are your genes telling you? And then what they can do is, and this happens so often, is that you can blame your condition on your genetic
Yeah.
makeup.
Yeah.
And your genetic makeup is, yeah, it's a percentage of it, but it's a very small percentage. It's really when you take control of your lifestyle and the way that you operate and conduct your life, then you can overcome if your parents had some kind of um, problem, cancer, some kind of chronic disease, whatever that may be. That doesn't mean you have to get it because you can take control of it. You can take responsibility for that. And you don't have to say, oh, well, I'm going to blame my genes. I was born this way and, stroke of bad luck that my parents, that happened to them. So, it's something that we have to really look at deeply to say that we can take control of our own health.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct, and that's absolutely right. That's just an excuse. Anymore, science has, as you said, science has shown that our genes only play a very small role, maybe 10 to 15% of how healthy we're going to be and how long we're going to live. So you can't use that excuse anymore. Oh, I just got bad genes. No, it's not the bad genes. You got a bad lifestyle, probably. That's really what it is. So what I want to say too is that everything in our life just comes down to choices, right? We're always choosing. We're either choosing to do something or choosing not to do something. So it's all about being aware that you can always you have a choice. You can choose to take responsibility and learn what you need to learn and take control of your health or anything else in your life, and get educated and learn what you need to do, or you can give up your power and just go along with the mainstream, and then most likely, unfortunately, you're going to end up like most people in America, becoming old and sick and maybe in a nursing home and dying way too young. And I don't think that's a good choice, and I know you don't want to be that way. So
Right.
the other aspect of that is to be really clear, to be really clear on what is really important in your life, and why that you want to be as healthy and as energetic and live as long, and whatever you want to accomplish in your life. I think we all have goals and desires, and we all know that we have certain talents, and we want to be able to get that out there and enjoy it and help other people, but you need a healthy, energetic body. So once you're clear on that, then that's going to help you to make the right choices.
Right. And to get that clarity and to get that awareness is for many, including myself, and including all of us, really, it's being aware of your present condition and getting right down to what your beliefs are. And we all, to whatever degree, have limiting beliefs that just keep us from moving forward. And
Yeah.
if we can take a look at what those beliefs are and then just go deep, as deep as you possibly can with that, as you get to know yourself and take responsibility for your own actions, then that belief can be transformed and turn from a limiting belief to a belief that says, I can get through this. I can do this thing a different way because you have an awareness. And then from that awareness, you can make choices and choices that can be in your favor.
Yeah, absolutely. So the bottom line here is, no matter what health challenges we're talking, we all have those. John and I, we have things to deal with. Everybody has things to deal with. I think the message that we really want to get to you is, whatever health challenge you're dealing with, the first thing you want to do is take a time and get educated. There's so much information these days. You can go online and find so many people. There's so many naturopathic doctors out there, and functional medicine doctors, and health researchers. So there's a ton of information. You don't have to go along with just the old same mainstream that they're just going to give you some medication. So you got to get yourself educated. You got to get out there and work on stuff and work on yourself. And again, that's not to say that sometimes you need some medical intervention that definitely can be helpful, but take your time and explore what's going on, and I'm sure you'll find ways that most likely you'll be able to heal yourself in a natural, healthy way. And so before we get into this to the second section here, we're talking about helping elders build some wealth. I'm going to read you a poem. This is actually my very favorite poem. It's in my main book, Ageless Living. It's called the Youth Poem. And the reason I want to read it, first of all, I think it really inspires me, and everybody I think really likes it. But it's also it's on our topics. It's also about taking responsibility for your life. So here we go, the youth poem. Youth is not a time of life, it is a state of mind. It is not a matter of rosy cheeks, red lips, and supple knees. It is a matter of the will, a quality of the imagination, vigor of the emotions. It is the freshness of the deep spring of life. Youth means a temperamental predominance of courage over timidity, of the appetite for adventure over the love of ease. This often exists in a man of 60 more than a boy of 20. Nobody grows old merely by the number of years. We grow old by deserting our ideas. Youth years may wrinkle the skin, but to give up enthusiasm wrinkles the soul. Worry, fear, distrust bows the heart and turns the spirit back to dust. Whether 60 or 16, there is in every human being's heart the lure of wonder, the unfailing childlike appetite of what's next, and the joy of the game of living. In the center of your heart, there is a wireless station, and so long as it receives messages of beauty, of hope, of cheer, of courage, and power from men and from the infinite, so long are you young.
Ooh, that was beautiful.
How
Beautiful,
cool is that?
Rico.
I love that. Every time
Yes.
it kind of gives me chills.
Yeah.
When I read that last line, it gives me chills. So again, I think the message is it just has to use poems. Youth has nothing to do, not really about your age. It's where your mindset and how you're connected to your heart and to what's really your life's all about.
I
All
love
right.
that poem. Yeah, we should somehow make it available to people if they want to see it because very invigorating and very youthful words there. You just knocked 20 years off of my mindset thinking about,
Yeah,
give me 20 more
absolutely.
years there of invigoration.
All right. Yeah, I'll just say, uh, pretty soon. I know you're coming out with a new divine. Uh, what's it called? Divine. What's the name?
In Divine Self-Care ebook,
Oh
which is
yeah,
also to, it's part of our divine system. And in the divine system, we have also a divine investment.
yeah. So let's include the youth poem in there. Yeah, we'll include the youth poem in your ebook.
Okay, excellent,
Good.
excellent. Very
Okay.
happy.
Okay. So now we're going to shift from the health. We're going to shift to the wealth. So John's going to give you some ideas of how you can also build your wealth at any age, and you can maybe, hopefully, we can build it quickly as well. So talk a little bit about your wealth system, John.
Sure, be happy to do that. What it really started with was just putting good things into your body, putting healthy things in your body. And it's as simple as putting good things in and keeping the toxicity, the toxic things out of your body, just keeping it as simple as possible. And one of the things that we really is probably the most drank beverage besides water in the entire world, the second most drank beverage in the world, and that's coffee. People love coffee. 73% of Americans here in the United States drinks up to 400 million cups a day. So coffee is a very, very common beverage that everybody knows about. And the problem with that is the other things that you people put into the coffee. And we like to keep things, I like to keep things very simple about what you put into your body. The simpler the better. If you can actually pronounce the ingredient, then you're better off. And the less, the better. And that goes to eating just really simple, healthy ingredients. The coffee that we have to offer that I would really highly suggest if you're a coffee drinker is to try give a chance and try our coffee because it's healthy coffee. It's got just two ingredients, premium grade quality beans that are just extremely tasty and like you said, Rico, acid free. There in what we also have with that is cordyceps mushrooms, and that is tasteless, but it actually is very powerful in the regard that cordyceps mushrooms can do three things for you. It can improve your immunity system, make it stronger. Your cognitive function is definitely enhanced. And it also is good for your stamina or libido. So it's got three magic ingredients that can really do, and over time, and this is just another concept that really works well, is if you do something consistently every day, for instance, and if it's a good thing, then it will add up. And it will add up as in a cumulative manner where it can really, do you some good from point A to point B, and the time in between. If you're just consistently drinking coffee, for instance, in this case, then you can do well. And by sharing this coffee, we have found that people who can share this coffee, we have a company that has a lot of excellent products in it, and we have a formula that can actually, by investing in yourself, on sharing something that is so aligned with good health and for the betterment of you, we can actually show you ways where you can actually get some additional income just by sharing it, just by doing it with your heart, in your heart, because that's how we do it here, is just by sharing from our heart that this is something good for you. You can actually get some additional income from it too.
Yeah, really well said. And I like to just tell people, if you're already drinking coffee, well, why not drink some healthier coffee? That makes a little sense, doesn't it? And so you get some health benefits along with your coffee as well. Yeah. So we'll put this how to get your coffee. It's actually you go to livepure.com, and then when you'll see at the top of the screen there, you'll see cafe or pure cafe. You click on that, and well, I'm sorry. You go to let me start over again. You go to livepure.com/ageless coffee. That's what we call it, the ageless coffee. And then you'll open up a page and you'll see at the top, you'll see Pure Cafe. So you click on Pure Cafe, and there you'll read all about the healthy coffee and how you can order yourself, and you can try it out for yourself. And if you like it, I think that's what you should be drinking. And also, if you want to learn more about the wealth system, you can definitely get a hold of Jon. We'll put his contact information also here. You can get a hold of Jon, and he can tell you all about it.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to also mention in that, Rico, is that we will have available. So make sure the audience here tunes in next week, because we will have the self-care ebook, Divine Self-Care ebook with the Divine Investment in there, and it's going to be a very, very easy step with the coffee. But we will also have, as time goes on, other products that you can also generate income from just by sharing something that is so good for you, and you want the best for other people too, for your loved ones, your family, whoever you want to share this with. We can show you ways that it can actually add to your financial stability.
Yeah, really good. Okay, so I think that's going to be it for this session. For the last thing, now you can also subscribe to our podcast. So go to agelessliving.lifestyle.com/podcast, and there you can subscribe to our podcast, where you'll be notified of our next episode, and where you can find all of our episodes. And also, you'll also get a free valuable ebook. It's my ebook that's called How to Be Bold and Never Be Old. So I think you'll really enjoy that as well. So as always, we like to end our podcast with Einstein's real popular saying, knowledge without action is useless. So we're here to give you some great knowledge. But you got to take action on it. It doesn't do you any good to say, okay, that sounds good, but then you don't do anything, So, and also we'd love to have you contact us and let us know, what topics that you'd like us to cover, or what questions you have, or whatever's on your mind, or what you feel you'd like to learn about. We're here to help you. So you can contact us as well. Let us know, and we'd love to hear from you. And if you have a good topic that you want to find out about, we'll do it for you. So that's it for this.
I just wanted to interject real quickly here, Rico, that this is all about our audience. This is all about the people that, are looking for a better life through better health. And we can do that. And as time goes on with our episodes, we will show you easy, proven methods that are very effective, that can show you just by taking one little step at a time, or, depending on how fast you want to get healthier, whatever ails you, whatever the problem might be, it's all about changing your lifestyle to lifestyle medicine is what we would love to teach you in such a way that it is effective. There's studies that show that lifestyle medicine is the way to go. So just stay tuned. And as we get our word out to you about how to do this, it's just going to get better and better.
That's it. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here, and we'll see you next week.
Bye bye, everybody.